One of the biggest reasons I love WordPress so much is because of the flexibility that you can have. And you can pretty much build any website, any type of website with any functionality and customization and added features, all with WordPress. And plugins play a big role in how and why WordPress is so flexible. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my top 5 plugins that most websites need and some really cool other plugins that you could check out. So be sure to stay with me till the end. And if you're as excited as I am when it comes to geeky stuff like plugins, hit the like button. One thing I always say over and over and over again is have a backup. Websites go down. Websites break. Period. End of story. It will happen. And for 1,000 different reasons. But one of the most common reasons for a website to break or to go down is an update issue. And the best way to avoid all the stress that comes along when a website breaks or goes down is to have a backup that you can revert to, a recent backup, ideally, that you can revert to anytime, and then you can go and figure out what went wrong. Why did the website break? But you have a live site that is functioning and working, and there's no issue. So let's start with my favorite backup plugin, Updraft Plus. This is one of the most popular backup plugins, and for a good reason. The free version is more than enough for most simple websites. Now, Updraft Plus has 2 features that make it really easy to automate your backups. Who doesn't like automation, right? The first is their backup schedule. You can adjust the settings to automatically back up your website as often as you like. From a couple of hours to daily to weekly to monthly, entirely up to you. The second feature that I love is remote storage. This means that you can connect your website and your backup of your website to cloud storage like Google Drive or Dropbox. This is really useful because if your website goes down or it breaks, there's a good chance you won't be able to access the back end of the website to get that backup. So if you store your backup, an additional backup, on cloud storage, it means you can access it anytime regardless of what's happening on your website. So keeping a backup of your website somewhere else on cloud storage is really, really important. The next essential plugin for all websites is a security plugin, and my favorite is WordFence. Unfortunately, websites get hacked. WordPress websites get hacked. But if you add layers of protection, then a successful attack probably won't happen. I've always used the free version of WordFence and found it to be more than enough for what I needed. If you haven't yet watched my video on how to prevent your WordPress site from being hacked, I'll leave the video on the screen, the link, so you can go and check it out. I go a bit further on other security measures, so it's definitely worth watching. Next up is an SEO plugin. You've built this really awesome website. Now it's time to make sure people can find it. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and SEO plugins make it really easy for you to take your website information, submit it to the search engines so that they can find all your information and get it out to the right people. And when it comes to SEO plugins, I recommend the free version of Rank Math. It has a really easy interface and it actually walks you through a setup step by step. Next is a contact form plugin. Most websites will need a way for the potential client to contact the website business owner in some form or fashion, and having a contact form plugin is the easiest way to achieve that. There are tons of options out there when it comes to contact form plugins. For really simple forms, maybe just a name, an email, and a message, I recommend WP Forms. It's established and it's easy to use. Now, if you need a more complex form, then I recommend Fluent Forms. It has a lot of really cool features like multi-step, conditional logic, and so many other things. And lastly, on the list of plugins that most websites need is a caching plugin. Site speed is so important. Now think to yourself, how many times have you landed on a website and then left because it took too long to load? Let's be honest, we are quite impatient. A caching plugin will help improve your site speed, loading times, and overall improve user experience. And the best caching plugin that I always recommend is WP Rocket. From small sites to huge e-commerce stores, WP Rocket does a fantastic job to speed up the overall loading speed. Another really good caching plugin is W3 Total Cache. It doesn't have all the really good features that WP Rocket does. However, if you're looking for a free caching plugin, it will do the job. So those are all the must-have plugins that I wanted to mention. But I also wanted to mention a couple of other kind of really cool plugins that you may not have thought of, but it's worth checking out. The first one is called Happy Files. Now, if you like organization, like I do, you will love this plugin. And it's especially useful for really big sites that have a lot of pages and a lot of media. And what it allows you to do is categorize everything on your website and put it into folders. So if you have a website that's heavy on images, it'll make it so much easier to find because you can put all those images into different folders. With the free version of the plugin, you can create up to 10 folders for all of your media. So that's probably enough for a smaller site, and you can really get a feel for what it can do. And the second plugin I wanted to mention is called Pretty Links. Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen what an affiliate link looks like? It's not very attractive. It's normally really long and confusing. And you don't really want that. You want the link to look inviting so people actually want to click on it. And that's what's so awesome about Pretty Links. It allows you to make any link more appealing, pretty, and it's super easy to use. All you do is set up a redirect from that custom ugly URL and make it pretty. All right, your turn. I would love to hear from you. What is your favorite WordPress plugin? Let me know in the comments. All right, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this content. And if so, please subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell so you get the notification for next Wednesday.